The following program does not necessarily reflect the views of PMLB Media or its sponsors.
Hello, welcome to the program. I am your host, Phatman.
I'm Littleboy.
And this is our weekly Netcast podcast for the first week of March. And I got some good news about March this year, that daylight savings time is going to actually be pushed ahead, and we get to have it, it's always pushed ahead, but
next weekend.
Next weekend. I'm so excited because I love daylight savings time. I just do.
I love it too. I kind of wish that they'd leave it all year round. The first couple weeks are going to be a little bit rough because I get up pretty early, so it's going to be like getting up, of course, even earlier, just like everybody else.
Sure.
But it'll be nice having the extra daylight. Will be very nice.
It will be, nice. And I'm looking very, very much forward to it. Also today, just so you all know, we're again alone in the studio.
Yes.
The live viewers already know this. We went through there, but this is for people watching it a little later. Producer Joe was unable to make it today. Our studio has changed around again. It's becoming more and more, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but it's pretty cool.
Different.
But one good thing that happened is they hooked up my laptop, and we can do yours too as well, that runs a TV in the back. So we're going to do switching on the fly.
Yeah, we'll be switching from right here.
That's it. So you'll see the stuff in the back. Also, next week we want to start bringing back our phone calls, our call-ins, and we'll be able to do that here as well as at the producer's desk too. So
we have the capabilities this week. We wanted to make sure we got it all nailed down so it works right. So next week, anybody who wants to call in the show, we're going to give the number at the end. We'll give the number at the beginning of the next show. Call in and we'll talk to you. We don't have a screener, so if you call in while we're going, you'll just be on. So hopefully you're good. Hopefully you're interesting.
And also, you're able to Skype in as well. So if you want to set up on a Skype, you can Skype in. You'll be in the TV above us, and you'll see us, but we won't be able to see you because you're behind us.
Right.
But you know what? All of this different technology is unbelievable, and we want to thank the people at Skype for helping us with that, as well as the new phone number.
Yep.
So, Littleboy, how was your week?
My week's been very good. I wanted to take a second to congratulate Paul and Laura. I went to their wedding. They got married. We had a blast. My wife and I went. We had a really, really good time. Also, I want to take a second to congratulate my cousin, Nick, and his beautiful wife, Nicole. They welcomed their first child into the world.
Oh, congratulations.
So they have a little girl. And,
I want to go back to your first congratulations.
For Laura and Paul?
Yeah, Laura. Hey, Laura, hello. We're friends.
You had too much work to do here at the studio. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I would like to have seen her. Hey, actually, Littleboy, we were going to say this till a little later in the show, but since we're talking about how's your week, and I think the people out there know about you being on a diet and stuff, let's talk about this, because I want to get this out there right away.
All right.
So I'm going to put the picture up behind us. Did it work? No.
Wrong one.
Wrong one. Gosh,
we're learning.
Already. There it is. Go ahead and explain to them.
Well, the first picture, the one that is on, it's on the left-hand side of the screen. It's closer to the Phatman, which is
right
perfect.
Here. This one
is that is me 3 years ago at a wedding. That's actually at Nick and Nicole's wedding, who just had the baby. That is in there. And then the picture that is closer to me, I guess that'd be right here, is me at the wedding that I was at this Saturday with my beautiful wife.
And you can see a huge difference. Let me zoom in on these things. Can I zoom in on this thing? I think I can.
Let's play around.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I just zoomed in on. This is you 3 years ago.
That's me 3 years ago. And you can see I carry the majority of my weight in the belly and facial area.
Wow. I don't remember you being that big.
Yeah. I had let things get a little bit out of hand, we'll say.
Gosh, I just don't remember you being like that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then there's this one. This is Jay today. A Littleboy, excuse me, today.
That's me, yeah. That's me. I keep getting distracted by the screen over there.
Yeah, don't look at that screen. Look at the camera.
Yeah, that's me right here. That was on Saturday, and that's 94 pounds. Difference.
Unbelievable. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
Very, very proud of you.
It's been a lot of hard work, but I'm actually I feel good about I feel like I've accomplished something. I'm not quite where I exactly want to be yet, but I do feel real good. When my wife and I were looking at the 2 pictures after we had taken that, we just couldn't believe it.
I am
such a big difference.
Absolutely blown away. I think it looks great. Gosh, you know what? I think I don't know if you want to or not, but I think you should put them on the website before and after because really it's unbelievable. And on top of that, you didn't take any crazy diets. You didn't do any of this stuff that, no
surgery.
Nothing.
None of that stuff. All I did was I started eating a little bit better, and I started exercising. I started by walking because I wanted to run, but I absolutely could not run. I was way too out of shape to run. And I just extended it out to, I was running 1/10 of a mile, and then I would extend it to 2/10 of a mile, and then I got it up to where I could actually run a mile, and then, now I can do probably 12. I could probably do the half marathon now if I had to.
I think so. Yeah. And like I said, we're going to be at that marathon. I think everybody knows that, but just double checking with them. So anyway, congratulations, little boy. You look great.
Thank you.
You look great.
Thank you. I feel really good.
Let's get into our first story. This story this week, basically, I'm sure everybody has heard about it. Probably a little bit sick of it a little bit. It's Rush Limbaugh who talked about a woman at a local college, or not local college, at a college who, Sandra Fluke. She was saying that the government should pay for her health.
I don't think that's what she was saying, actually.
Well, but she was trying to allude to the fact that
she was not saying that. What she was saying is her health care coverage should provide birth control, is what she was saying.
Well, I have a question. Does health care not cover birth control?
It does. Well, but there are people railing against it. People are saying there are people who don't think that it should.
But it does cover it now.
Yes.
Not all of it. It's not all of them, but most of them cover it now.
All of them do.
They all do? Even the ones through like Catholic schools and stuff?
Those are the ones that now, if you have the healthcare coverage, they're not making the religious institution pay for it, then the government will pay for it.
Well, the question I have...
But she pays for her health care. She pays almost $2,000 a year in health care coverage.
Oh, God, she pays cheap health care.
For her. For one person?
Well,
That's not that cheap.
I mean, here, I'm scrolling down so people can see a little bit more about the Rush Limbaugh stuff.
That's what, $175 a month for one person? That's not cheap.
I think that's cheap.
That's about the going rate.
Is it?
For one person?
Well, but I have a question. I don't actually have a problem with healthcare covering.
Well, let's look at it. Let's look at it realistically here. The little bit of money that the insurance company is paying, the insurance companies aren't fighting this. The insurance companies want to provide birth control because
it's cheaper.
It's much cheaper than birth.
Okay, not all insurance companies are fighting it though, because there is a few.
The majority of them are. Yeah, the ones that are not religious.
The thing is, that's actually you're going on what she said, but this is not the story. The story is that he had called her some. He
said some really mean stuff about her.
Yeah, and that's the question I have.
Well, he was equating with wanting birth control to being a whore.
Well, I have a question about that, and this is why this came up. Not if what he said was good or not, or correct or not, or that she's a whore. And I don't care about that. The question is, why is it news that he is talking about it?
Yeah, I don't know how they got actually.
No, not how they got together.
Right.
What he said about her.
Right. But how did she come up? Her personally, did she?
Well, because I'm sure I know one thing that she was on a show. She was also on The View and stuff. I think it was after the fact.
Okay, maybe that was it.
But I'm not talking about that. Okay, whether you think they should pay for birth control or not, that's not the question.
Right.
The question in this is, why was this such a big deal?
Well, because the Catholic Church was fighting.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the whole thing with Limbaugh.
Oh, because the things he said?
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because honestly, I think that he's a tool anyways.
Okay.
But everything that he said, none of it shocked me. None of it shocked me. That's the way he is.
And so I'm trying to figure out why it makes the news. Why did it make the news?
Well, because when Howard Stern says something absolutely crazy, it still makes the news too.
Well, not as much. I mean,
but
he called her a slut.
He was going out of his way to just be vicious.
Okay.
Which it's funny, and we can go a whole bunch of different directions with this. One of the things I want to talk about is he's losing sponsors, and all that type of stuff. I'm thinking, first of all, if you're sponsoring the Rush Limbaugh show, you have to understand that he's going to say some outrageous stuff. He's going to say some outrageous stuff.
That's what he is.
Yeah,
and that's why he has 20 million people listen to him. And do you think he's really nervous about losing 5 sponsors?
I think he is because he's starting to apologize now.
Well, he apologized for a whole different reason, but yeah, I don't think.
I don't think it's a whole different reason. I think he started to apologize because they started. That's what I was reading today. He'd lost 11. big sponsors is the number. I did not read each individual one.
I read his thing, and it said only a total of 5. The rest of them, that was not 11. It was
okay.
5.
The number doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I do think that part of his apology is because he is, I think that at the beginning he's like, one sponsor, two sponsors, whatever, but after it starts to add up, it starts to gain momentum, and he needs to be careful of that, because if it gains momentum, nobody's going to want to.
So the reason why I say that is, who cares? Really, he can say whatever he wants.
Exactly.
Exactly. And that's exactly it. Now, the thing that I find interesting about this is we've talked about Bill Maher before. Matter of fact, he was a major part of one of our shows one time. And, that we talked about him.
It's the subject of Bill Maher. He loves it. Although, if he called, he'd be on.
Yeah, for you. The problem with Bill Maher is he says stuff like this constantly. Nobody cares.
Well, he got kicked off. He got kicked off
ABC.
Yeah, so people care.
Well, that was when he was with ABC, a Disney company. But when he's now where he is, I know he doesn't have the same followers.
But it's not just radio. It's a little bit different, and also it's a pay channel, which is also a little bit different. Rush Limbaugh's on free TV, free radio, so he does need to be a little bit careful what he says,
Okay, well, I want to talk about Bill Maher, but now that you say that, you brought up a good point. Let's talk about Chris Brown. And Chris Matthews, excuse me.
Chris Brown.
Chris Matthews, he's on free TV, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but he destroyed Hillary Clinton and called her a slut, a twit, and a few other names. And why didn't he make the news? Well, it was very small. But he's still on MSNBC.
Yeah. Well, they haven't kicked Rush Limbaugh off either,
Oh, they won't. Because he owns the IB network. He's not going anywhere, But the thing is, the reason why I'm asking this is, no, you should not call women names like that. Just simple, you shouldn't use it. Slut or whatever, I mean, whatever. You can say whatever you want, but I mean,
when I hear Rush Limbaugh call this lady a slut, first of all, I take it with a grain of salt.
Because you don't like him.
Well, not only that, but he doesn't know her, so him saying stuff like that,
But you can say it. I can say anybody can say it.
Let me tell you. I told you a story off air. I'm not going to get into it, about a lady that was sitting next to me at an event I went to, and I called her all sorts of things. Now, do I know those are true or not? I don't know. I didn't know the lady. All I was doing was I was basing my opinion on her on that 32-second interaction I had with her.
The question I had is, should he apologize? Does he have to apologize?
No.
Does it matter? And do you think at all a little bit of partial liberal media doing it, because you always give the trouble.
First of all, I don't think he has to apologize.
No.
I think business-wise, I will have to see because he is losing some sponsors. That's why he apologized.
Yeah, that's the only reason why he had to.
For you to say he didn't, he that's why he apologized, because it all comes down to the money. And as many people as listen to his show, and all the people that love him, if he can't get sponsors, that don't matter, because they're not paying.
Well, we know this, don't we?
We're fully aware. We have plenty of people viewing shows, and we can't get any sponsors.
Yeah, I know what it's like.
And we've had this discussion with all the people as part of the family. All these shows all these views are great, but if you can't get somebody to pay you, what's the point?
What the heck's the good of it?
So,
right.
But I don't like wrestling, but I never have anyways. But if. What's funny is I'm not big on the let's boycott. Who's big on the boycott is Bill O'Reilly.
Of course.
And first of all, boycotting anything in the United States is worthless, because number one, everybody owns everything. So if you say I'm going to boycott such and such company, they got their hands in so many different things, that you can't. You can't. Then you look like a schmuck because you can't really boycott. I'm not going to say who it was. I'm just going to say I know somebody. That back when the whole war started and we had the whole thing where France wasn't helping us and everybody was down on France, this individual had a boycott France sticker that he had, I'm sure, got from Bill O'Reilly's website.
I would have put that on my car.
On the back of his Nissan.
I would have put that on.
Who owns Nissan? Renault. Really? A French company.
Really?
Yes.
So Nissan's not owned by...
Partially owned by Renault.
Nissan Motors, whatever it is?
So the fact that you have a Boycott France sticker on the back of your Nissan...
It's kind of stupid.
Right. But all boycotts are stupid because you're going to run into that no matter what. You say, I'm boycotting this, you're going to walk up and somebody go, hey, you don't know who makes those shoes, do you? Because there's nothing. So anybody who says, I'm boycotting this, you're wasting your time and you're setting yourself up to look stupid just by that. However, if Rush Limbaugh were to say, I only eat Cheerios because Cheerios are the greatest, guess who's not probably too interested in eating Cheerios? That's me.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, if Cheerios is advertising during his, what am I going to do? Sit and listen to every single thing, to listen to all the advertising and write down all the products I can't use? No. But if I see Rush Limbaugh himself saying, I use Duracell batteries because of this. Well, guess what? I'm not really going to be interested in using because I think he's a schmuck and I don't like him.
Nah, I have a question. We really can't spend too much more time on this.
Oh, sure we can.
No, because it's. I just wanted to ask about what you felt about it. And actually, you're kind of fitting into the same. I totally expected you to be totally against it, so you've screwed up my whole little thing. But anyway.
Yes.
Oh God! You just.
My whole thing was
how many people do you think are watching him now because of this?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's gained some people, and I'm sure he lost a couple, but I'm sure he gained more because I'll tell you what, the people who support him absolutely love him. So you got so many people that I'm sure he lost a few female listeners, but you're gonna have people that really are gonna, you really like somebody, you're gonna dig in and you're really gonna support him now and say, we got to be there for Rush. He might lose a few.
I bet you have supporters flocking to try to, or sponsors saying, "Hey,
there'll be other sponsors.
There'll
be other sponsors, but you have to be real careful when somebody says something that is seen as vicious and against a certain group, and this is going to be women that he did. You got to be real careful. You got to be real careful.
It didn't hurt Bill Maher, and it didn't hurt Chris Matthews, and it didn't hurt. No. Oh gosh, there's a lot more. I mean, I'll tell you another one.
He will recover, and he will move on.
Another one that really kind of got me, and like I said, I don't want to spend on this a lot of times, but oh gosh, I'm sorry. The tablet now is dying on me. Joy, I don't know if you heard Joy Behar. She's on the View. Yeah.
I love the impression that what's his name from Saturday Night Live does of her.
Oh, I know. Who can?
Yeah.
Anyway, she destroyed and trashed the Senate candidate Christine O'Donnell. Yeah. Called her a witch who does not masturbate. I mean, hello, come on. Why would you say that on TV? First off,
well, she might be true about that.
Know?
She most
how
likely.
Does she know? And is she a witch? Have you actually ever met a witch?
First of all, I don't believe in witches. Okay, so
there's a lot you don't believe in, but that's one of the things.
Yeah, but maybe she does believe in witches.
Oh, come on. So,
but anyway, I think when you start saying stuff like that about people,
just being stupid.
Yeah, you're being stupid, and you really don't know them anyways. That's why the story I told you off air, and the things I said I told you off air, and then I referred to.
I wish I could have taped it.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah,
you were
really
so mad, and I thought, this is a perfect show.
It's like one of those classic overreactions. Something really small just makes you so angry, and it's just the way it was, All
right, let's continue. I want to talk about Penn Jillette.
I like Penn Jillette. I love their show. Was it on Showtime?
Yeah, let me go to it real quick so we have it for everybody.
We are on their website right now. That show, they had the show Bullshit. It's just on Showtime, I think.
You're cursing on our show. We don't curse on this show.
That wasn't a curse.
You said the S word.
I was repeating the name of it.
Doesn't matter. It's still a curse word. Sorry, everybody out there.
I apologize.
It is a curse word.
I apologize to both of you for saying that word. Which it's funny because that show I loved, and I didn't agree with everything. I didn't agree with their conclusions or the things they said, or even some of the things they were attacking. But
why?
Some of the things I didn't agree with.
Most entertainment.
But I still liked it. Yeah. I still enjoyed it. Just you don't have to agree with what they're saying to enjoy watching it.
No, you don't. That's true.
And I loved the show, and I really liked Penn Jillette. I really did.
I do too. Let me tell you what. He was born in 1955. I have been watching The Celebrity Apprentice. Now, Penn Jillette is a huge advocate for atheism. And you know how I feel about that, but my best friend is an atheist, and it doesn't bother me. And,
so am I.
Mr. Jillette is too, but I've noticed in watching him in The Apprentice and also seeing his shows and reading a lot about him because I've gained a lot of interest in him, he is just a nice person.
He's a good person.
He is a libertarian, which it gets a little bit closer to me than not. You know what I mean? He just thinks there should be no
He considers himself a true libertarian because a lot of people who say they're libertarians, he doesn't think they really are.
No, because he just wants complete government, leave me alone, which is great. He is a capitalist. He thinks that free capitalism is the best way to go.
Okay.
And the way he has treated the people on Apprentice with him is with such respect.
That's what I heard. Now, I don't watch The Apprentice. I'm I think Donald Trump's an idiot, but that's not why I don't watch the show. I don't say, I'm not going to watch it because of him. It's just something that wasn't for me, you know?
Well, you're not a Trump fan, but...
Well, it's not even that. Just the whole idea of I'm trying to get off the reality shows, you know, and it just never really appealed to me, you know?
It's a good reality show, though, that one, because every week they do something for charity.
You know what? I heard something interesting is Adam Carolla is on that show. The charity he is... Do you know what charity he's playing for?
No.
I'm just throwing this out there. It's a religious-based charity, and Adam Carolla is an atheist.
Really?
I heard that. Not positive.
A lot
that's what
of
I heard.
charities are, though.
I know. It's very tough to find a non-religious.
Because the one that Penn is actually, Mr. Jillette is actually doing is for people with disabilities.
I thought it was a cancer.
No, people with disabilities who can't get into the workforce. He's doing that, and that is a religious charity.
Well, I'm sure that it has religious backing.
Most of them do, because that's a charitable thing. I don't know if you remember, Clinton had said a long time ago that the churches need to be involved in these charities to keep them going forward. It's not a state deal that the churches should do it. And actually, he got together with Bush Sr., and they had talked about that.
Well, that's one of the reasons, you know, we'll get into this in another show. That's one of the reasons why the churches have this tax-exempt status. I think that they should be doing something with that tax-exempt status. Yeah. They're not required to, though.
No, but they do. I mean, because the churches
not all of them
hoard,
do.
Not a lot of them hoard a lot of money. Well, I take that back. There is a few of these churches that I've seen that take a lot of the money.
You know, but let's talk about that in another show.
Anyway, so I really liked him. I just wanted to talk to him a little bit, or talk about him a little on the show, and tell you guys, you know, you should take a look at that Celebrity Apprentice. If not, he has a couple of podcasts.
This is his Sunday School podcast, which I actually listened to an episode of, and it was, you know, it's pretty good. He's a really interesting guy.
He's just interesting. He's intelligent, and I just like him. You know, he also really says that Teller, his sidekick, is the one that pretty much does everything. You know?
Yes, he's the one who does all the dangerous stuff. That's for sure. Have you ever heard him talk before?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I've heard him interviewed before. He's done interviews.
He does
before.
talk. He just chooses not to.
Right.
So in their whole skit, you know, that's their thing.
Yeah, that's
but
their thing.
He doesn't like to talk, so he doesn't.
Right.
You know, and he tells, and Penn had said that.
He's well spoken, though. I've heard him actually be interviewed.
Actually, they're both intelligent. You know, I had a bunch of stuff on here. They're both, you know, college and you know, his mother.
They used to work together, I think, on a cruise ship or something.
We can go through it all day, but I just wanted to say, you know, I liked him and I wanted to go on. I don't want to stay on that forever.
Yeah.
This is one that you sent me today. This is the judge that banned a teen for life for reckless driving. And
I'm gonna do a classic Littleboy here, and I'm gonna go a little bit both ways on this.
Oh, really?
I like to, you know how you always get mad at me because I always kind of see both sides of it and stuff.
Right.
Okay, this guy got in an accident while racing a car. He crashed into another car, and it left his 3 passengers with serious injuries. And basically, the judge said the same thing that every single parent has said at one time or another to his kid. He said, "I've had it. I've had it. That's it." Right?
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
No more driving ever. You know? Which is what we classically do. You know, like, you're grounded for 10 years, you know?
I know. The problem is he's a judge.
Yes. Which they're supposed to be able to control themselves.
Yes. And I could understand why he was happening. It was a race.
Yeah.
You know, and that is becoming a huge problem.
Huge problem.
Questions that I have. Let me throw a few questions out to you.
Mm-hmm.
One, does the judge have the power to do that?
My guess is it's going to get overturned somewhere.
Well,
but
you know,
okay. I'm going to say no.
Is it the judge's responsibility to do that?
Well, you know,
I mean, it's his responsibility.
Well, here's
to
the thing:
the evidence of the case,
right,
and weigh it, and come right into the middle of where it is. Correct?
17-year-old, you can look at him as a child or an adult, depending on how they want to try him.
It's true.
Now, if he's tried as an adult and he murdered somebody, you can throw him in jail for the rest of his life.
Sure, because
my first thought on this was, how can you tell some poor guy you can't drive for the rest of your life because of something stupid that he did when he was 17?
Okay.
But then I'm thinking, you know what? You can.
If he killed him, he would be in jail until he was forever. Okay.
Exactly. So,
right.
You know, I have a hard time, you know, if one of my kids were injured, you know, seriously injured, I would be like, yeah, don't let that idiot drive anymore because he's, you know, but how many things did you do when you were 17?
Oh.
And you look back
and
now.
I have 17-year-olds, and they do stuff that I can't believe.
But when they're older, they will get it. I talk to, you know, not even just when I was 17. We talk, we tease each other at work. A lot of us know about things that we've done in the past, and There's plenty of things that I have done in the past that I am not proud of.
The question is, you're right. If it was a murder, he could have put him away for life.
Right.
This wasn't.
Right.
Now, lifetime ban on driving, I think, will... Because your punishment's supposed to fit the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Does it fit the crime in your mind?
Well, they said serious injuries, but it doesn't say anything else.
Right.
It doesn't say permanent. It's very vague, actually.
Yeah. Well, serious injuries, not life-threatening.
Right. A serious injury is a compound fracture of your leg.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. Actually, a serious injury is busting your fingers to where you need to have surgery. That's serious.
Okay. So let's assume that these are injuries that will all be fully recovered from.
Yeah.
Not like brain injuries,
right,
losing an eye or anything.
Right,
like
because
that.
I mean, you can throw manslaughter into that. You can throw into vehicular homicide. You can throw all those into there. Then that brings you to capital punishment land. You know.
To me, it seems like this is the type of thing that the judge did. That he's going to go home and go to sleep and go next morning. You know what? Maybe I should have done that.
Okay. Because it's first off, it's going to get appealed.
Of course, it's going to get overturned,
and it'll probably get overturned.
It seems a bit harsh, but
I'm just happy. I wanted to talk to you about it because I like it, because maybe he's trying to show other kids this is what can happen.
Right.
The thing I don't like about it is if it does get overturned, and I'm pretty sure it's going to, what does that show?
Right.
Because how many times have you punished your kids for something, you know what I mean, and said, other people would just not do this, and then turn around and see your wife or see one of your family members doing something just like it, and then the kid just turns around and says, see, you see? How many times has that happened, and you just want to you just drives you crazy, So now he's got this out there, and so now I can tell my kids, hey, look, you get caught in a race, you can lose a license for the rest of your life, and then all of a sudden 6 weeks from now, overturned.
Yeah. But that's his responsibility to not do such a ridiculous punishment.
I think so, too.
You know what I mean?
I think you could have thrown him in jail because it's reckless driving. Reckless driving, you can get, just like DUI, you can get a couple of years for reckless driving. He could have even taken his license for 5 years.
Right.
Lifetime's
a tough one to uphold when you don't have somebody sitting in jail.
Right. Maybe it's worth it, and he probably should have had that, but I think he went overboard, and I think it's going to end up coming and biting us all.
Yeah, and it's going to just make him kind of lose. It's like when you,
you don't want to lose face. He's going to lose face
a little bit,
because it's going to get appealed. Now, if it gets upheld, oh my God!
I can't see there's any way that this thing gets
I don't know. It's a felony to race, and I don't know what class felony it is, so who knows? I mean, you do it 3 times, you could go to jail forever, I guess. I don't know, because we have 3 strikes, so I don't know. Let's go on to the next one, because I'm sure we're getting a little long already. Oh, my gosh. This one here is a good one. This one I wanted to go over. Now, I'm a gun nut. You know that. And
you don't have to say gun in front of that.
And in Maryland, which is there in D.C., well, D.C.'s in Maryland, but there... a federal judge says gun owners, need not provide a good reason to get a gun permit.
Okay, first of all, I didn't know that there was a rule that said you had to have a good reason.
In California, you cannot get a gun permit.
You're talking about concealed guns?
Yeah, this is
concealed
carrying.
I'm talking about your own one.
No. Now, what I like about this, and the reason why I brought this one up is, when you have the federal government say that they don't have to have good reason, it's their constitutional right, because if you look in here, he said that the citizen may not be required to offer a good and substantial reason why he should be permitted to exercise his rights. I love this, because no one yet has actually said concrete evidence, this is what the Second Amendment is, there you go. It's a huge problem. Right. It's so confusing.
Well, one thing that everybody's going to have to agree on is when the Second Amendment was written, they had no idea where technology was going to take
place. Of course, but they knew firearms. They had firearms there.
Of course.
But of course they said,
there's so many things were different. First of all, when you make a law today, a lot of times in 20 years it doesn't apply anymore.
That's true,
just
but
because of technology
and
population and trends and all that stuff changes. Let me ask you, how comfortable would you be if everybody's walking around with a concealed weapon?
More comfortable than not.
Would you really?
Yeah, even when I was a cop, I didn't like people having guns.
Wait a second.
Yeah, because let me tell you why.
Let me ask you a question. You are sitting on where you were working before, and you have all these people, any one of them could have or all of them could have concealed weapons, and you would be fine with that?
Let me tell you why. To get a concealed weapon, you cannot be a criminal. But guess what? Criminals have guns anyway. So what happens? I would have no problem with you having a gun and me being on patrol, because you're not going to pull that gun on me. You're just not going to. Now, you're a dirtbag, but say you were a dirtbag, you probably have a gun. You see where I'm saying?
You think a lot of people have guns?
You know how many guns I've taken off dirtbags?
I don't know. I don't.
A lot.
Let me tell you,
a lot of firearms out there.
I'm not.
And let me tell you, on top of firearms too, there's not just firearms. They have these improvised weapons that are just as bad. It
is amazing, though, how us as a society has gotten so hot-headed.
Well, look at the guy who ended my career here, right? His weapon of choice was a hypodermic needle that he tried to stab my partner with. You can't, when you're out there, you classify everybody as having a gun. That's just in your head. They have a weapon of some sort. Right? Now, a gun, hypodermic needle, a knife, they're all lethal weapons at this distance, and that's the distance you would be at when you confront somebody.
But that has nothing to do with whether or not people can carry a gun.
No, what I'm saying is, you asked me would I be comfortable with it. I had to be comfortable with knowing everybody I contacted had a firearm. Now, the only reason why I contacted those people was for some way they were breaking the law.
Right,
otherwise, I wouldn't.
Confronting them.
Yeah, but confronting them for a reason. If you weren't, going on your average day, you're my boss out there. So guess what? As your average citizen, please go to work, pay your taxes. When you're breaking the law, that's when I had a contact.
Look at how people get so. People are so quick to get mad at each other nowadays.
I just
for brushing up against them.
Look, in Texas you can carry almost no problem. Nevada, no problem. Arizona, no problem.
Maybe
have you heard a lot of gun problems?
I don't know. I don't read a lot on it, so I don't know. I haven't heard a lot.
And they're not going to hide it from the news because the media. One thing that the gun control does not solve is actual crime, right?
Because the bad people are going to get the guns. We understand all that. So
the guns are illegal in
England,
and they still have robberies.
Get real nervous about everybody carrying a gun. I just don't. It just makes me uncomfortable. For some reason, it does.
Well, that's because you're in California. But if you lived in Arizona and knew that 90% of the people are armed around you, you'd be uncomfortable.
I don't think 90%.
Yeah, Arizona is almost 90%.
Are walking around with guns.
Yes.
Wow, that is unbelievable. I don't believe that.
Well, you should look it up. Because in Texas, it's the same. In Texas,
90%?
Well, Texas is even higher.
We have to. First of all, we're going to say
illegal.
They can legally carry one.
Yeah, legally carry. Well, that's what I'm saying.
No, I know.
See, so I'm not saying I want everybody to carry a gun. If you can't, you can't. Simple as that. But in California, whether you want to or not, doesn't matter because you're not going to. And the bad people are, because they don't care about the laws. There's a reason why.
I just don't
think
that
And the good people who want to, you don't have to. It's not. Right. Let me tell you, in some countries, and I believe Israel's one of them, but I think also, believe it or not, the big, we're not for anybody, Switzerland, they all have to have a rifle in every single one of their houses. So, it's not saying you have to carry. It's saying that if you're legal, you can carry it. If you have not broken the law, you don't break the law, you're a red-blooded, pay-your-tax American, you can carry this gun.
I would just not be comfortable with people carrying guns just because people are quick-tempered. People seem to be so quick-tempered.
I just don't think that's a problem.
No.
I don't think that's a problem. Because, even that, you have a temper. You have a tremendously quick, off-the-wall temper. I don't think you'd pull a gun on somebody. You do. And I don't think you'd pull a gun on somebody.
When have I had
You do it on the show constantly.
That's with you.
Yeah, but would you pull a gun on me?
But out in public and stuff, I'm not like that. I am relaxed. I very rarely get
all right, anyway, we want to know what you think about this. And we would like to talk about this next week. So a little bit about gun control in California.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind talking more about it.
And I want to see what people have to say about it. Also, I received an email again from Ray. Ray, I appreciate the emails. We would like to have you on the show. Do you think he'll come on?
We'll have to ask him.
Yeah, I think we should. Because Ray.
Skype him in. Yeah.
He had a great email last week on budget facts. I enjoyed it. I really, my dad sends me emails constantly too, and I go through them all. And if I just went off face value on that on his emails, this is my dad's email, not Ray's. I could not put them on this show because there is zero research into them. It's just, look what he's doing now, boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it might lead to a story, but it has to be correct story.
Well,
and I am impressed because Ray does normally send me stuff that's already been kind of gone through, so that works out well. So thank you, Ray. What I want to do too.
Thanks for watching too, Ray.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for watching too. Is I want to make sure that we get both of our emails out and stuff like that. We had problems with that before, but the phone number for next week when you call in is going to be 858-522-9164.
Yep.
Or you can send us an email this week. We have a new line into the studio that we just got today, but I forgot the number already.
Okay, that's okay, because this is the one that we want them to call in on anyways, right? Or do we want them to call in on the new one?
No, I think I want them to call in on the new one, and I wish the heck I knew it. I don't know why it's on top of my tongue, but...
Another thing that we should have set up beforehand.
We should have.
Maybe when you edit the show afterwards and play it, you can put the new number down there.
Yeah, you know what? I'll put it in front of us.
Put the contact information up.
Oh, you ready for the contact?
Yeah.
It's Littleboys. All
right, you can contact me at Littleboy at phatmanlittleboy.com. I'm also at LBHost. And then, of course, you can call in. For right now, the number we have is 858-522-9164. And then
we'll always have that number.
Yeah.
We'll always have that number.
And that one you can leave a message you can leave a message, or you can, of course, email me. I love to read emails. Send your hate my way. I love it.
Yeah, that's true. And like I said, that number's not going away. We're always going to have that number. That's actually the business line. What we did was we brought in extra lines for calls.
Like for show calls?
Yeah, for show calls because they have a different quality and they're hooked up differently. So instead of a VoIP, which is what that is. Right. You can always contact me at Phatman at phatmanlittleboy.com. I'm on Twitter at PhatmanShow. You can contact me as well, 858-522-9164. I am in the studio probably 60 hours a week. So you can get through to me. Also, we are looking for some more shows again. We got the shows out there that are out there, and we're looking for some new ones. If you have any ideas, we really need a tech show. We're looking for a comedy show. Any ideas? Because we're thinking of opening our studios up to the general public to come in and do a little bit of public stuff. But we haven't decided yet.
Still working on it. It changes week to week.
I know it changes. Next week it'll be like, we're not going to do that.
Also, we're live streaming. We have a real fun a roundtable show I've been hosting, a roundtable sports show. We stream that Wednesday nights, around 6:30, 7 o'clock. It depends. We're going to get a real set schedule, but we're just kind of checking it out right now. We talk about just sports topics. I really like sports a lot. So what I do is I bring up topics to some people we bring in here. They don't know what the topics are. I just bring them out there, see what their opinions are, and we kind of move through it. And we seem to have a lot of fun. They've been real fun shows. You can check that out on our YouTube page at PMLB Media?
PMLB Enterprises.
PMLB Enterprises. Search that on YouTube.
This week, or probably next week, a new website will be out, which will be PMLBsports.com. It'll have your show.
Yep.
It'll also have BT's show.
BT on PMLB.
And those two, BT's also going to be doing some on-scene reporting, so
and we'll have little reports. We might be working on a Aztec baseball report and also a Padre report this year.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
And, we want to do shorter stuff and then have it out there for everybody.
Yeah.
So, because we're very video focused here at PMLB Media. So a lot of people were like, "Oh, can I write an article? Can I write an article?" Well, yeah, but we'd rather just have a little short video clip. And because we're on, now we're on Ustream, Justin TV, Vimeo, YouTube, Blimp TV. So we're kind of branching out and working with Roku right now to get our own Roku channel. So.
Yep.
I think that's pretty much it. Little Boy, it was a great show.
Yeah,
and
nice.
We didn't get to fight. But
you can't fight every week.
Well, we'll fight after the show. All right, for those of you out there, thank you very much for watching us, and we will see you real soon.
Take care.